Yeah, hey, stranger, how's it going?
Long time no see. Yeah, Paul, like I said, I know Mel has to ask all these questions and, he dots I's across T's, but the thing is, they're really still running all those measurements from our old Face Pro system. And man, these multi-AI, these analytic cameras that are running on the edge now, not running it back through all that software, I'm just telling you, I'm seeing a lot more accuracy and reach and everything else from, and what I'm fixing to show you will kind of show some of that I just think sometimes they're still over engineering it.
Yeah, both be here today. Well, it figures everybody's here but Rodney.
Yeah, Rodney said he had a meeting in Malvern. He may or may not make it on. He didn't let me know if he yes or no.
That's pretty funny considering he's the one that was crying, wanting it the most. But I want to show you guys anyway, and I can show Rodney at a different time, but we won't spend a ton. But I do want to show you some of the stuff, and then also I know Brandon's online, but also I want to say it. I know Rodney's got some schools that want to see this. If I need to come up and show it live, I can. If we need to do a webinar, that's fine. But if we want to line a few of them up in the next couple of weeks or so for us to get in front of, that'd be great. And we can show them this, but I'm gonna pull up mine and then I'll share my screen.
Man, who's that surfer?
What now?
Brian had a surfer picture on there.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
I'll turn my camera back on.
What's up, Brian?
What's up?
Man, I'm just going to go ahead and be honest and say I'm really sorry about it's out of our control, but that Mercury, the Mercury back orders are just killing everybody.
It's all good. We're I just got to get information from y'all so they don't think I'm blowing smoke up their ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, anything you need, just let me know. Just say, hey man, send me an email so I can give it to the customer, and I'll write anything we need to write. But we're all in the same boat. Then you can't get Mercury equipment and then they don't even give you a real line. They'll just give you a generic. Well, it's end of February, 1st of March. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
They don't.
And I think they're about to cut me the PO on that residence hall with those locks and stuff too. So just heads up on that.
I got you. Let me know if y'all can see my screen.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so obviously I'm logged into the latest version of VI. And as you see over here, of course, I'm logged into our demo server out in Houston. I'm not going to go over everything because you guys know how to see a lot of stuff, but I do want to just talk to you about the multi-AI and this new LPR that we have. That this is all kind of different. It's not the old Face Pro. It's now we're running the analytics on the cameras on the edge. So the software is really not doing a whole lot. These plugins, you can download these plugins for free. Basically, if the camera will do it, you can download the software for free, the plugin for free on the software and run it. Now, we'll tell you the LPR, that requires a one-time license from Baxter, who are running their software on the edge of our cameras. And it's about, I think your guys' cost, it's about, Brandon, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's about $650, $700 diamond cost for y'all for the license to sell to a customer, but it's one time life of the camera. So it's not perpetual. They pay it once. So cool thing is, if you got a customer that already has VI, they want to put LPR in their parking lot on the entry gate or exit gate. They only want one camera. That's sometimes all people need is one or two. You basically would just sell them, say, yeah, we can do that. You sell them a camera, that'll run the analytic. You sell them a one-time Baxter LPR license for that camera, and you come in and you download this plugin for free, and basically set it up, and they're good to go. So that's how easy it is. All these plugins, of course, you can find up here under mod. Go ahead. You can find all these under modules, under plugins, manage plugins.
You download it from there?
Yes. So you can go into the server, you pull it up, go into modules, go into plugins, go to manage plugins. You can download the LPR plugin or the Multi-AI plugin.
I didn't know that.
So that's where they are. They should already be there for you if needed. I will tell you, if you add that, to add the LPR, you will need, when you place an order for the LPR license, we do need the server serial key that LPR, that camera is going to be tied to.
Yeah.
So the same as like a third-party camera, but it's just third-party software. So real quick, I'm just gonna get in here and show you some cool stuff. So we can go to our Multi-AI, we pull it up, and when this pulls up, we're going to sit here and look, and we can do people search. You've seen all these other companies that can do this. The cool thing is now we can too. We can turn it on and say we want to go and look for some people. We click over here, and then we get our drop-down box, and these are all the filters we can use to try to look. We can look for a male or a female. We can divide them by age. We're looking for a child, a young adult, an adult, or a senior. We can do it by hair type, long hair, short hair, hat. We can do by hair color, top type, top color, bottom type, long pants, short pants, bottom color. We look for sunglasses, no sunglasses, beard, no beard. You can look for a moving direction, and you can look for mask, no mask. So again, these are some things you can do. So if we want to look, just look for a male, adult, the hat on. We've got our, see over to the left, we've got our filters. So we can close that. And then I'm gonna go to my camera.
Choose the camera type. Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah. So now I hit my cameras and I'm going, all right, I'm only looking for people search. So I only want to search the ones for people. And that's all. So I got that. Now I can hit search. And this was my time frame. I only pulled up a 24-hour time frame. Well, some of them didn't have hat. It's pulling up thick hair. It's not going to be 100% perfect, but it's going to definitely get everybody with a hat. Let me start that where you can see it. So I don't think you guys can see it unless I pull it down.
You know, Brad, it's tough to say something ain't always perfect.
Yeah. He didn't have a hat. It's usually very accurate. Look, I pulled it up the other day and everybody on this joker had a hat on. Let's pull up 2 days worth. So if we just go to the first person, so it's pulling every person. So the thing is, you can pull this out. And here comes our guy with the hat on.
That was Brandon.
Yeah. You can stop it. Of course, you can do the same old thing. You can skip forward like one frame. But we can bookmark this. We can pull it out. We can take a snapshot. You can do everything you want to do with this video. It's already, like I said, the cool thing is it's already tagged. If you knew you were looking for somebody with a hat, it may pull a few people that have some real thick hair or a hood on, but it's definitely going to pull up anybody that had a hat on. And the same thing you can do with any of your other filters. If you want to go and look for vehicle search, if you have the camera set for vehicle search, we can also look at vehicle search. You can come over here again, vehicle type. We can do a sedan, a van, a SUV, truck, bus, motorcycle. I always say let's look for a truck, and white and color moving in their direction to the right. So that's my filters I'm going to use. I'm going to go back to my cameras. I'm not looking for people anymore. I'm looking for vehicles. We only have one camera on the outside of our building looking at vehicles. I don't need 2 days worth. I'm going to just do one 24-hour period. Again, I'm going to search. We got a bunch of white trucks. We did pull up a couple of vans, but it's looking for 2 wheels really. So when you see this, you can scroll through here and you decide, all right, well, if this is the truck that we believe stole the equipment, we can simply go to that truck and we're going to have the live video once we click on it where it passes by. And as you see, it's going in the direction that I said we wanted to go. Again, you can bookmark this, pull it off, do anything you want to with it. But this just makes it really quick and easy for somebody to actually, for you guys to actually, or the end user to run these analytics and to, download video quickly. For faces, this is what we were just talking about.
Hey, Brad, real quick.
Yeah.
So you don't have to have these filters set up for it to be functioning and looking for it. You can.
No. Like these cameras, like if I go back right now, I'm going to go check the same camera. I can say, all right, I want to look for a van.
5 days ago.
Black in color. Yeah, and 5 days ago, and I can say I don't want going to the right. So now that's my new filter. So we're gonna pull up.
I like that.
Yeah.
You don't have to have it set up to be doing it. You can
right. Now I will tell you
the camera analytics has to be on.
Yeah, I will tell you now. The big deal is what you don't want is if we are saying if you're running LPR license plate recognition off any of the cameras, only set it to LPR. Okay. If you're running facial recognition, only run the facial recognition. Now, for people and vehicle search, you can select both of them and let the camera run all of it. Okay. So it's going to collect all that data and you can just come in here and select what you want it to pull off. So basically the camera's holding all this metadata. It's taking a picture of every single vehicle. And the thing is, you're just going back and telling it from the server, go to the camera, request only these images. So that's what you're doing with the filter.
All right, let me ask you this. You're saying the metadata is saved on the camera.
Yes, sir.
How far back will that camera restore, information? Where a server, let's just say it has 14 days of storage on it. How far back can we recall information from a camera?
Now that depends on a few things, but from what I remember, hold on a minute, I'm gonna pull up
I think that's key. Boy, it'd be nice to know you could have 45 days of information in a camera. That's too much, but.
Well, I would assume the metadata is in the video on the server, so it'd be encoded in the video.
And not on the camera, Tim? He's saying it's on the camera.
The camera is.
The camera's processing
to recognize it.
Yeah. It's actually, but like the faces, it holds, I think it's 10 gigs. I've been told that it'll hold, that most of this will, and I can get you further clarification on the exact amount per camera, but I've been told that it should easily hold, these will easily hold over 30 days of information from the camera. Now, I don't know what that is, equivalates to as far as a gigabyte or whatever held on the camera on the processor, but it's actually this video, like the video is actually already on the server, like Tim said.
All right. So let's say the video is gone.
The camera's tagged, but the camera, what it's doing is it's going through there and tagging these events and holding the tag to the video.
But if the video's gone off the server, let's say the server's only getting 12 days and we want to go look for someone back 15 days. Are you telling me that camera has that information to where I can find it from the
Yeah.
camera, not at the?
I'll tell you what, let's do, Paul, just since we're here and we're playing and I haven't done this before. Let's go back and let's see if I can just go pull something, because there's a lot of traffic that happens on this road. That's why I know if I ever pull a black van, I'm gonna get one, because there's an Amazon distribution center right beside us.
Yeah.
So
And these are I'm asking like the customer, you know, if you were to sell it, hey, this information is saved on the camera. See I picked that up.
let's
I
go
don't
back
know
one
about
month.
for the video insight side, but most of the analytics stuff, it's just a tag in the metadata of the video itself. And it's just when you pull it open, the camera is saying bookmark this timestamp, kind of
Yeah.
SQL
So
database or something that's tied in.
And that's what it's doing. It's adding a bookmark to it. That it's got the metadata is really what we call it metadata that's on the camera is really like bookmarks, because it's bookmarking, all right, van, blue in color, bookmark. So as you see right here, I went back 1 month. I went back to 12/20.
Yeah, how many days? But how many days is this storing video in the software? Pull up the storage, you know.
Well, I don't have administrative rights on this one.
Oh, okay. But
well, can you open that video? Will it actually play the video, or is it just a snapshot?
see, it's not showing any video.
Nope, yeah, I would bet it holds as much as video as you have.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
So if you're only getting 12 days, you're only going to get 12 days.
Right.
That would be my bet.
That's going to be what happens, is just however many days you've got a video retention.
Okay.
But I'll clarify that. I mean, it's kind of been asked, but the way Tim explained it is going to be probably correct. Now, we go to faces. It's not a lot. You don't really have to do a lot. You're just going to come up here and turn face on, go to the face cameras, select your time frame. We'll get back to actually sometime this week. We'll do it Monday and Tuesday. So as you see,
Masami.
yep. But you see where it's picking him up all the way out in this parking lot?
Yeah.
I just want to show you.
From what we were just talking about, Brad.
Yeah, what we were just talking about. So watch, it's picking him up right there already.
That's why it was blowing my mind that.
So as you see, I mean, yeah, we get him all the way, but the thing was, it picked him up the second he basically came around the corner at an angle.
Yeah.
Right here. But it gets him here, here, here. I mean, you're getting him everywhere. That's why I was saying they're much more accurate than what we're trying to say.
Damn.
I mean,
Who's
see,
that, Brad?
that's Hannah. She's in our. She was our
She's in HR.
She was our HR department, but now she's moving to strategic events. She'll be the one that helps plan like the partner summits and all that stuff. You'll meet her soon enough. But like even this, if we look at this, where this guy is, I mean, we can sit here and look way back. Well, I'm gonna have to hold on. It doesn't like it when I scroll down on mine, so I'm gonna have to pull it like this. You see, he's behind the thing, but as soon as he comes out, He's caught right there through the glass.
Yeah, that's going to be tinted too.
And another thing to keep in mind, not just the distance, but you see some of the angles when it's picking up as well for that outside location we were talking about earlier.
So that's why I feel very confident in this. I mean, look, it's picking up these angles. You see these?
Yeah, they're sideways.
I mean, look at that. I mean, if we pull that, I mean, it's going to show all of these, but it's facial picture. These are all tags, tag. So it's not like we're having to have them come in at a perfect angle.
Right.
You see this?
Yeah. I mean, there's
Just
one,
out of
the
curiosity,
next
too.
row, that dude's all, sideways.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this dude right here is completely sideways that walked by the door.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we actually can come in here. Again, I need to make sure I scroll it all the way up because I don't want to lose y'all at my internet connection. So if I scroll it all the way up.
I'm not the biggest camera guy, so but what does this affect storage at all?
Not hardly at all because the tags, the only extra data that's going in, the video is going in. That's why we're saying that's why it doesn't really affect the CPU on the NVRs. It's because all this metadata, what we call metadata, is really, like Tim said, they're bookmarks of all these analytics. All those bookmarks are held on the camera itself, not on its little processor. You're not asking the server to do all that. So basically, when you go and pull all this stuff, you're just pulling all those bookmarks from the camera then.
All right, just out of curiosity, can you say on facial recognition trigger an event in VI?
Yes, through our rules manager. So what that does is, like, okay, so when we do have this, you see where this says set up watch list up here on the top left?
Mm-hmm.
So we could do that.
Well, I'm thinking for like Paul, that bent back door to trigger to pop up on the Apple TV if someone walks up to the back door to the A phone.
Well, I mean, we can do it if it's got digital in and outs, and through our rules manager, we can do that. But you see where it says save facial features to a registered face detection down here?
Yeah.
Tim, we're going to put in 3 cameras and you'll have plenty of time to play with it and get it figured out.
So, but what you do more on that is then you'd go to, then we could go to, if you had a registered list, you could go to more of what you call, if you wanted to monitor if there was watch lists we don't have any watch lists, but you could go to live events and look up stuff and see if something were happening. But definitely, Tim, to your question, if you can have 1,000 known faces in this free face detection watch list. So
I'm not saying for a specific person. I'm just saying if anyone walks up to the door, if they could trigger a live window in VI.
I see why I couldn't. You can almost do that by
motion.
You can do it with motion detection right now.
Yeah.
It should work the same way. If that analytic triggers and that portion would then trigger that rule, which would be pop-up alert.
Yeah, I figured so. I just specifically thought I'd ask.
Yeah, you just set it up in the rules, any motion.
Well, motion sometimes can be non-human, so if you can trigger it to the face.
So I went back to our registered face detection, and of course, we don't have very many people registered, but here's Sami coming in. So it registered him at the date and time he came in, the camera, everything else. Of course, there's the video, a map of where the camera was, where he came in, if you have that. Again, you can register people detection. One thing you guys may not do a lot of, you know, with all these cameras too, they all have the AI VMD, which is the video motion detection. And this is where you can set up, where if you want to set it up to look for an intruder, loitering, cross line detection, or wrong way direction detection. So you can sit there and do loitering on a camera, and you can set the parameters of how many seconds. I will tell you, ours is very sensitive. But basically, it's like, hey, if somebody's hanging out in this area too long, I want that to be tagged as a loitering event, and maybe I want an alarm to go off or a snapshot to be sent. So you can search for that also. And then you have where people are loitering and just sat around like near the front door too long, and maybe they were locking it, maybe they're doing whatever. Ours is very sensitive, so it's got way too much on here. I knew when I ran 2 days worth, but basically it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be somebody was sitting here too long near the front door. You see, that's the guy that's putting up the stickers on the door. But you could do a cross line detection. You could say, hey, if somebody goes across this line into this area, I want it to be tagged. So these are just some things that also these multi-AI cameras will do, and the X series, that you guys may not even really try to do, like cross line detection. Brandon, do you know if we have a cross line set up? I guess I'm gonna find out.
At the new office, I don't recall specifically.
Well, they do somehow. So we must have a cross line detection set up for when somebody crosses a certain line. So never seen it on a 360. So I'm fixing to see. No.
Hey, what's the line? I mean, how do you show what's set up?
That would be in the,
Probably
that's
on
in the
the
camera
side,
settings.
you can see it.
Yeah. Basically, we must have a line cross where if they're going from, you know, bottom to the top and crossing the line. Again, I'm just showing you some of this video motion detection. Direction detection would be the same thing. Intruder is going to be almost just like loitering. It's just whatever you set it up to. You could say when a person gets to this area or during these hours, I think they're a human, and it's a human. And you see how object type it actually says if it thinks that's a human or not. You don't care if it's a dog or car or anything else. That's one thing you can set up on these cameras when you talk about intruder or loitering. You can actually say, I'm only looking for a human. The other thing is sound. I don't think we do have any sound or breakage on it, but you can look for, if you have on these cameras, you can run an external mic, and it'll basically, you can sit here and try to see if you can detect the following things: a gunshot, glass breakage, vehicle horn, yelling, or audio detection. I don't think we have that, but because there's none in our office. But that's the video motion detection. Again, this is where your registered face detection would be. It's very simple. It is basically just pulling all these events off. I do want to show y'all too how cool this LPR is now.
Hey, Brad, real quick, go back to that.
Okay.
Backspace to that facial recognition. I want to ask a question. Basically about registering.
Okay.
And seeing the screen is.
Click back on path. Or you have to wait for that to load.
You know, you had the all right. So right now, to register a face, you'd turn it on. Would you, let's say I was in there 3 days ago and I was a problem. would you pull up that video, tag my face, and move it into the watch list?
Yeah, like you said, you can set up a watch list right here. You see, this is a people watch list. You got a facial watch list. You can type it in, pull it up, but you could also pull in.
I mean, right now my picture's not in there. Let's say.
Right.
So you'd add the face, you'd put my name in. I'm just wondering how you capture somebody who was there 2 hours ago and you want to add them to the watch list. Do you take it from the video and add them?
Yeah.
Probably do a pass search.
Yeah, you go back from. Of course, now I may have to. I got this pop-up screen that popped up, and I think because I'm doing Teams, it's not going to allow me to.
Sorry, I was just curious how you added a person to that registered face detection list. I mean, would you go to past events?
What now?
Yeah, so when you have one of the past events that you can bring up, and if it's not pulling up as already registered, you can take that screenshot and then register it from there.
Okay. So you would be in past events, go to that date, that time frame when the person was in the video, and say, hey, take their Brad, you probably have to go down to your icon at the bottom of your screen. Go to your VI.
Yeah, and the only small caveat with that is obviously you want to try to use the best hit that you can with that. So if all you have is a side profile, that might affect some of the accuracy down the road. But if you have a straight, full-on picture of them, obviously that'll increase accuracy.
Yeah.
Can you attach multiple of the same face, like a side profile and a front?
I think you can, but let me double check that because I'm pretty sure you should be able to register different things for hits.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get back in there and just show you. I had it up at one time, but basically when you pull somebody's face from, let's say, the last 24 hours,
If Brad doesn't have admin, he might not be able to do it.
but let's just say, let's find a face that why is it going to LPR? I don't care about LPR. All right, I was trying to find a good face. Got this guy in the background. All right. This is the guy we wanted. We said, okay, well, here's the face. You see, that was the tab right here. Save facial features. So it would save that. And then we could add it to a watch list.
Okay. So we select that new register.
And this is where I think it starts screwing me up because I don't have administrative rights. I'm not really supposed to be able to do this.
Okay. But I see the screen.
Yeah.
And I see where you have new registration and add, name and da-da-da-da-da. So,
well, I think without admin thing, you should be able to search for it, but I don't think Brad would be able to actually register it.
Right.
Yeah, and that's where it's screwing me up. So it ends up being, I have to close it out again.
I kind of wanted to get a feel for how easy it was and what a person would have to do. That's something they would have to go to the server to do. They couldn't do it from a client station, could they?
No, they can do it from client.
No, they should be
As long as they're admin.
Yeah, as long
They'd
as
be
they're
able to do
admin.
it through the Fit Client Monitor Plus, yeah.
Now, is
I
there
don't
going to be
even
a
have to call
user
Tim
permission
every time
ever
he needs
to
to do it.
allow a non-admin to do this?
Well, if they have the, if a non-admin could do like the search if they have the rights to the cameras.
Yeah, that would be good to have a separate right, because we wouldn't want like our principals to be able to change camera properties, but we'd want them to be able to register a face.
Yeah, well, I'll have to ask if they can be able to register a face without administrative rights, or if they've just got us locked out on the demo, because this is our demo server that even you guys can log into.
Yeah, we'll look into whether or not we can differentiate that on the admin or user accounts, much like you would live and recorded and downloadable stuff.
All right, real quick, I'm going to show you this LPR too. Now, the monitoring just would be for live monitoring. If that's you had somebody who you wanted to have the application up and they're watching a gate or something like that, of who's coming in, who's coming out. The reporting would be more of what you'd go back and look at in a period of time. We only have one LPR camera. It's again just one of our box multi-AI cameras. And I'm going to tell you guys, this camera is literally mounted 15 to 18 feet up on top of our building, our warehouse building, because we don't own the building, don't own the property. They wouldn't let us put a pole out in the front. So we just kind of mounted this, not in a way we would ever tell you to mount it or an end user, but it's still very, very accurate. So we're super pleased with how well this LPR is working. So basically you just set your time frames, you select your number of cameras you want to check for the LPR. We only have one, so that makes it easy. We can run a report. As you see over here, all of our LPR tags come up. It tells you right here the time, the license plate, and the confidence level and the accuracy. And look at the angles it's getting. And I will tell you, we've got this zoomed in. This pullout is probably 40 yards away from our building across the parking lot. And the camera's mounted, like I said, 15 to 18 feet high. And it's getting that level of accuracy, as you see on the right side. Video of the truck, but also the tag number and information all down on the bottom right. I want to view that event video. I can view the event video.
And the default is 10 seconds.
That looks like it's outside Alexander Cannabis.
Huh.
Yeah.
So
we got a camera that's looking at a view, something similar to that.
yeah, but I mean, the cool thing is this is actually picking up every tag, whether it's known or not. Now that got you look, it pulled up the US DOT number on the side of that vehicle. Front tags. See the angles it's getting?
And again, not just the angles, but if you notice the camera model, that's just a 2 megapixel camera. So we don't want to get too bogged down on pixel counts and things like that.
I can't. What's the alphabet on that one? Oh, it prints it. FGK. Okay.
It prints it. It prints it here, and it also prints it down here. And if you want to save the license plate into a known database, you can do that here.
Can you make it look through the saved at a later date?
Yeah, yeah, because you actually we have let me see here. We have
That'd be the only reason to have that feature.
well, I mean, you can run it.
Well, you like say the mall, they can say, oh, this person, shoplifted last time, and then they could have an alert if it pulls back in their parking lot.
Trying to see, I thought we had. What I had somewhere. We have.
Those plates are saved.
Correct. So that you can start looking and you can say, hey, all right, these are saved plates. I want to know when these people came back through. So we can sit here and say, there's when that plate came through.
Yeah.
Here's this one.
18th and 19th.
Yeah. So we can sit there. And that's Hero. I believe that's the 5th car that we have saved. So as you see, you can pull all those up, and then you've got the video that runs to it too. And then you can run things off your rules manager too if you wanted to do that. I just have a school in Mississippi that just ordered this. They loved it. They saw the demo, saw how easy it ran, how accurate it was, and they ordered it. Might be the first one for this Baxter that, I mean, we just launched this because this is our new LPR, and they just buy one multi-AI camera and put the license on it, and they don't need a dedicated server or anything. You can run about probably 15 LPR cameras. We advertise 20, but really we don't want to go over 15 on one server. Because again, the video is the video. It's really just tagging all these tags as bookmarks and saving the tag photos.
Can you share the license plate information, or like if it has a shared database with other servers?
You can share this, the facial and the LPR, with up to, I'm trying, I got to make, I know it's over 10. I think it's, Brandon, correct me if I'm wrong, is it 15 max?
I was gonna say 15.
Yeah, I think I'll get you the answer, but you can share it, I know, with at least 10. It's somewhere in there. We cut it off. I don't know if it's 12 to 15, somewhere in there is where the database stops. I think you cannot have it on any more than 15 servers for this database. Now, this Baxter LPR, this is just saving it in here. If you have a customer that actually wants to tie this in to the National Crime Reporting Institute for stolen vehicles and through law enforcement, we do have a plug-in that they can pay extra for, and it ties into the national database through this same LPR.
All right. Does it have to share the SQL database?
Yeah, I mean, on the shared database, if you do not want a dedicated server and you're running it off individual VI servers that are running the video, you cannot, I know you cannot run any more than like 15 servers, and it's probably like 20 cameras. If you get above that, you're going to need a dedicated LPR server. So if you had,
well, that's a bunch.
I know, my deal is if you had, no, but it's not a ton. I mean, because it's still about the number of cameras. But most people are never going to have more than 1 or 2 LPR cameras per campus.
One or two.
Well, so Brad, I'm talking, say like Benton. If they have the high school building and they have a license plate they had an issue with, and then they want it to be at their elementaries as well to make sure it doesn't show up there.
Yeah.
Would they have to detect
that's
it
where
at each location?
That's where we'd be limited to that database being shared to 15 sites. If we got to the 16th, we're not going to be able to share that single database unless we have a dedicated LPR server for the database. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but so like each of Benton is not, they don't share the SQL database for users or anything. It's all local for each server. So
you'd have to get the snapshot on site.
Do what?
You'd have to get the snapshot, the picture of that vehicle on that server at that school and save it to it, Tim.
Yeah, that's what I didn't know if there was a server side setting, not SQL, that you could say, like, connect them.
Not that I know of on the server side setting. No. Yeah. What we've been told now, and like I said, this is brand new. I do know I'll send y'all some extra information on it, of what we do have. I've even got, let me look right here what I've got on it.
Could you use all of those searches across the top? It had state and county, plate color. I mean,
yeah, you can. You can set that up, and you can run that search by that. I think this is.
Hey, Brandon.
Yeah.
Are they updating VI training for the software and these features?
Yes, they're going to be adding a lot of these things into it.
Because this is the kind of shit where you'd send somebody to go sit in a class and learn it.
So as you see here, this is the newer edition. This is the introduction to, and it actually has Baxter LPR. If you see here in the middle, that is this new application. So this is our recommended specs. So you can sit here and I can send you guys this. It talks about the installation of the cameras. We've also got one for the multi-AI. So,
like what we just went over with Mel.
Yeah, well, this is just telling you how to actually like access the camera properties, ensure that it's getting your events. This is basically a step-by-step guide on setting it up and putting it on the server. But see, this is wrong because Carmen's, I got to ask them this. Carmen's part of the old software. We don't have a dongle anymore either. So I'll get with you guys and make sure that I'll make sure you guys get the right one. Maybe this is the older one I had. But basically, on this LPR, it's pretty much the Baxter LPR license plus our iPro AI camera. The plate data goes to the VI server with the LPR plug-in. And then, of course, the plate data can be pulled out and filtered from VI Monitor Plus. Notifications triggered in the VI local database. And your rules engine can be triggered in VI. Scan plates can be added to the local database. And basically, it's pretty easy. It's just from the camera UI to our VI server. And here's where I was talking to you about on the top, straight across is how we would set it up if they're not wanting to really cross-reference with a large national database with the Crime Center. If they do want to do that, you go down here and you see where this Helix, they'd have to pay for this Helix back office software, which can tie to the NCIC database. That is not provided by iPro. So the end user has to make sure they can gain access to NCIC. So basically, it's pretty easy. You get the plug-in for free on our software. You can use any of these cameras, and basically, you're gonna get the Vaxter ALPR license loaded on the edge of the camera, plus the one-time LPR VI plugin activation on the serial key, and that's it. If the NVR ends up having, you put one camera on the NVR that already has the LPR, you're not going to have to worry. We're not going to have to worry about getting that serial key and putting the LPR activation on it anymore. You're just going to be adding cameras with this Vaxter license, and that's it. And again, those are not perpetual. You add it one time.
Now.
So
yeah, $647. Open the new price list. Using out.
see, I was good. I told you $600 to $700 earlier. Y'all didn't know I was that good, did y'all?
Oh yeah.
So anyway, that's.
Don't start sending out price sheets every month. I feel like we get a price increase every month.
Look, hey, well, I'm just trying to keep you updated. I don't want you to go where we don't have the latest pricing sheet. They sent that out yesterday, and I sent it to you.
Yeah, you did.
And honestly, that's really one of the things that got added was that sometimes it's just SKUs getting added or new cameras. So, but either way, that's it in a nutshell for most of this. I know we got some questions on a couple of things, mainly on the database of how far we can expand it. I know on these multi-AI and the facial recognition, it's around 15. I'll make sure I got the exact answer. As a matter of fact, I swear when I have you guys on here, I have that somewhere. Brandon, do you have that anywhere? I don't mind you guys seeing this. This says inside only, but it's only because it had pricing on here. But
I've been looking for it, but I didn't see anything that definitively mentioned it.
Where was that? The one with the multi-AI. I thought I had something one time from. Does this say it? Yeah, so on a multi-AI server software. So you see these where it says scale supported cameras? We can do 1 to 100 multi-AI cameras on one VMS server. But if we're running facial detection, we can only do 20 of those. And really, our engineering staff says 15 is really where you really want to stop it. Or 1 to 300 if we do a dedicated server, and we can run up to 60 facial detection cameras if we have a dedicated server for face.
Yeah, and the VR,
Here it is.
NVR below
Here
that.
it is. Number of VMS servers, 12 units. So it is 12 total, not 15. Y'all see that?
Mm-hmm. Now, what does it mean by units?
That's 12 NVRs. So
It takes
thing is,
12 NVRs to do that above, the information above?
yeah, that's going to be for this face detection, people detection. I'm almost positive it's going to be the same for LPR, but I'll ask. But I know for this multi-AI, whether it's people, face, whatever, to save a database for facial detection, this is going to be your limit. 12 VI servers sharing that local database for the face detection.
Okay, sharing. Okay, linked.
But there would be that quick manual workaround, which is obviously you share that data with the other units, and then they can have those upload it to theirs, and then they can then search and go through another 12 units.
Yeah, you could do that workaround, but this would be, just if I'm only adding a known face right here on this database, you just got, if you had multiple you could do it multiple ways. You just have to know you're going to have to manually go add it over on a different database. If you did not have a dedicated server and you were keeping it, like if you had 20 different MVRs and you had 10 on this one and 10 on the other database.
That's just above my pay grade.
Well, Tim, you understand what we're saying, right? You'd have to manually go add it over to another database. It's not going to automatically update that database.
Yeah, because they're not linked.
Sorry, I had to take another phone call, so I'm on the desk phone.
Yeah. So, but that basically that's it. It's so if you go over 12, that database is going to have to be separated, or either we're going to have to move to a dedicated server just for the facial.
Sorry, I'm back.
Yeah. So
All right, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Let's say you got a site that has 3 DVRs and you got a camera on, which is only going to apply to the camera and the server that the camera's on. It's not like, okay, you can't make that one camera search through the 3 DVRs on site. They don't have a search tool on each NVR. It's just going to have, the camera is the search tool.
Correct. But I mean, that camera is tied to one server regardless.
Right.
But the database could be shared between up to 12 servers.
But that shared database, just to confirm, that database is like literally the entire SQL database for all recordings and everything, not just LPR.
To my knowledge, it's the multi-AI. I'll check that. That's a great question, and I should have asked that already. But I would think, I mean, your SQL database can be shared more than 12 units.
Correct. The 12 limitation is just through VI Monitor Plus and the Multi-AI software. So if you had a separate database, that can be shared across greater amounts of NVRs.
Oh, so the Multi-AI, when you say server software, it's separate, like the new web client API?
It's not separate. I mean, it's built into VI Monitor Plus. So running it through the thick client, that's where the 12 VMS servers come in.
Okay.
But that separate database doesn't have that limitation.
Yeah. So as you see here, Tim, it's for the multi-AI server software plugin that we have on VI. If you want it installed on one particular VI server, you can go up to 100 cameras or up to 20 facial detection. Even though we say to make it run right, you probably don't want to go over 15 on one individual server.
Yeah.
If you want to go dedicated, you can go up to 300 with up to 60 of them being facial. For that database, the number of VMS servers that the multi-AI analytic facial recognition and people search everything maxes out at 12 units. Now, there is a workaround like Brandon and I were talking about when you were on the phone. If you got 20 different individual NVRs in a school district, you could, and they still didn't want to do a dedicated server. I don't know why they wouldn't, but if they didn't, for the database for facial detection or LPR or whatever, you could just have 12 or 10 of them on one local multi-AI database and then create another one over here. But if you went and registered a plate or registered a face on, Group A's 10 NVRs database, you'd have to manually go over to Group B to add it because it's not going to sync. And I know that makes sense, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. And the main catch right now, like 99%, actually, I only know of Bentonville's only shared database that I know of at all. So if it could be the LPR be its own database separate of the VI one, then we could do shared. But
Tim, they do that because they're able to do that because they're virtual servers and not NVRs.
No, you can set up a SQL database on any of the district servers and point them all to it. Or we could, like Benton, we could say the admin office is going to host the SQL database for all 25 servers and just not run it locally.
Hello.
Again, right here, we talked about storage. This says right here, max is 31-day limitation on what will be held for multi-AI.
Talk about increasing that if needed.
What now?
Just wondering if there's any talk about increasing that.
That's a good question. Considering this is kind of new to all of us, I don't know that question ever came up.
Sorry, increasing what limit?
This
the
retention,
number of days, it says 31.
It says retention period, maximum 31 day for the database, multi-AI. That's not for the data, not for the known database, but for the.
Yeah, part of my thought on that, like our cannabis business, you know, the 90-day thing. If they bought off on this, they'd probably want it for the entire 90 days. They have to store footage anyway.
That's a good question. Maybe, yeah, we'll look into that. Maybe it's something where it can be archived after 31 days. So it's only local for 31, but can still be saved up to more than that after the fact.
Where would you move it to?
I guess wherever you'd have it designated, really. We'll look into that one more.
Yeah, I would think that you could push that off to any other attached storage that you could push that to. It's just not going to be held on the camera or within the multi-AI software. It just have to be pulled from another storage file. So, but does that answer or at least show y'all enough to where you feel a little bit more comfortable with it? Or did I just confuse you more and make it just not worth it?
Me.
No, I like
I was
the fact
noticing
that
it said any X
plug
series.
in.
Does that 8150 work? The foreign one?
What now?
The WVX 8150, I think it is, or 8151, I think now.
Or the X8571, you're talking about the multi-sensor, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I only have
I
multi-sensor.
know it said any X.
Are you wanting to see a camera that I have up here?
No, I'm just asking compatibility.
I think we might have put that in paper and overgeneralized because I don't believe it's going to be on that X series camera.
I didn't figure so, but when I saw that, I thought I'd ask.
Yeah, because the X2570s, 2550s, PTZs, yes, but I think that's a mistake. That might be a mistake on our part. I don't believe it's on that X8571.
Well, heck, it was just in that presentation I just showed. Let's see. That was in the LPR one.
The new models we have, yes, but those existing ones.
I guess it wasn't. Where was that in? Just. Well, I had it.
Tim, I think that their spring multi-sensor cameras are going to be the cameras that are in line with that. Right,
Yeah.
Brad? The new multi-sensor cameras y'all got coming out.
Yeah, because the analytics were more of a chip issue to have that, and so I think we labeled it as all the X with the anticipation of those new ones coming out. But technically, that current X8571 doesn't have the multi-AI.
Yeah, that was fine. I was just curious when I saw it.
No, you
We've
brought up
got
a great
some of those in
point.
place.
We shouldn't overgeneralize like that because that can cause confusion.
Yeah, so here it is.
Oh, yeah, it's got a Star X series. Well, 4K or 5 megapixel, the multi-sensor are that, but still.
Try to see if it had it in. Here they are.
Yeah.
You see this, Tim?
Yeah.
It ain't on there.
No, they don't have any multi-sensor on there.
Right.
They're going to be out this spring.
Yep. Well, the spring or early summer. We got some new multi-sensors coming in. They may not be the 4 lens, but except for the indoor one. But yeah, basically all the new cameras that are coming out, we're trying to make sure that they have the multi-AI functionality. Eventually, our entire S series and X series will go to this multi-AI analytic system.
It makes sense.
And again, a lot of these alerts that come from this it'll be on VI Guard. It's a separate app that you can download that's just for monitoring alerts and events and triggers from all of this. So I will say be careful what you ask for, because I downloaded it and it was sending me stuff from every time something happened at that warehouse where it catches a face, it catches something that does this. It blew me up, so I had to turn it off.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah. So as y'all see, basically we've got all this and we can show it pretty easily. It works. I mean, it's amazing how great it picks up, especially faces, especially LPR. The people search works. And again, when we can sit there and you guys can tell all your Video Insight customers that are already there, hey, we can add, your system already does this. We just got to put in the cameras that'll run it. I think it's a really good selling tool for you guys moving forward to try to start looking at a sales and a growth path on all these existing customers you have of eventually changing them over to where all their cameras are analytic. It doesn't have to be immediate, but they can look towards that.
And it's an easy deal because you're only changing 1, 2, maybe 4 cameras.
Yeah, it just depends. I mean, eventually they may want to have even all their hallway cameras to do it for people search. But right now, I mean,
like we're looking to do it Benton, just 2 cameras.
Yeah, but eventually they may want to do, the ones that shoot out on the parking lots where they can do vehicle search,
Right. With every new install, we might want to say, hey, these 4 cameras, all your exit door cameras will be this type of camera. We're going to have 3 exterior cameras that'll have this feature. All you got to do is turn it on and buy the plug-in.
Right. Correct.
Yeah, just anticipate any new installation, obviously newer software, but any existing one, just pay attention to the version they're on and anticipate a upgrade for the new cameras.
Right.
Well, most likely you got to upgrade to be able to add it into VI anyway.
Exactly.
So, but that's about it. Like I said, I can share slides with you guys. It doesn't matter.
This shit's getting complicated.
Oh no, man! Look, it's not that complicated. This actually gets easy. It's just asking the right questions and then making sure we get it set up. It really and truly with this. I mean, our guys at the warehouse and everybody else are talking about how great this stuff works and how easy it is once it gets set up.
Yeah, but then you got to translate that to the customer, and they got, and be able to educate and teach them to use it.
Well, I agree. But I will tell you, I've always told everybody, if I can run it, and it's not that hard, everybody should be able to run it. Because I mean, I don't see where, like you said, how hard it is for them to come down here and hit, multi-AI and then select what they want to look for. If we look for a female, long hair, 24 hours. And then we're like,
Search doesn't take any kind of special graphics card or anything. Like I forget what that special smart search used to.
Oh, you talking about the NVIDIA card, graphic card?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
Y'all
that
need to spec that in the server.
Well, put it this way, I don't have that NVIDIA on my laptop, and it's not giving me that error running these searches. But I can promise you, if I go pull up one camera and do smart search right here, it's going to give me that error.
Yeah, well, the smart search is a little different. The analytics being on the edge with the camera, so that's taken a lot of it. But searching through it, you generally don't have to have too much. Now, obviously, if they're using really old hardware, that's going to kind of apply to anything.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure this wasn't a demo server. I didn't know it was your laptop, Brad.
No, this is my laptop that I'm just logged into that demo server. See, even for my laptop, when I try to run smart search off of it through the demo server, it gives me that same error message.
Yeah, we're both running our laptops. I don't remember how old Brad's is, but I've had mine since, I don't know, it feels like the dawn of time now without any upgrades. So we can search through them pretty readily.
Yeah, I'll put it this way. I'm running a laptop I got in 2016.
Well, I saw Office 2010. Yeah.
What now?
You're still running Office 2010.
Yeah. Look,
yeah,
Tim,
we haven't been fortunate to have any work upgrades for us lately.
Tim, I'm lucky. I have a laptop, so I can't complain.
I mean, he does live in Mississippi,
That's right. Hey, Windows 10 just launched in Mississippi.
What did?
Windows 10. Is that not the newest? Anyway, all you Arkansas people kill me. Y'all are so far advanced. Way ahead of Mississippi. But anyway, I guess, like I said, Paul, I really and truly think this face recognition will work. I know it'll work in the inside two cameras for Benton, but the outside one, I think it's still going to work. I think it's going to catch way more. And like I said, I'd love to be able to just show how cool it is and awesome it is, because I think Mel and them sometimes, I know it's their job,
right?
But because they just want to make sure if somebody buys something that's right. But my deal is, it's not like we're making a $20,000 investment in this and telling the customer they're going to catch every single face. We're just saying, hey, put the cameras out there. I bet they're going to catch 99% of them.
When I look at that view that's on right now, to me, that wall is like that 25-foot, 22-foot angle from this camera.
Yeah. I know, and that's the thing is, and he tried to say, this is an 8-foot door. I think this is a 9-foot door.
But this is at an angle like that camera on the outside would be, in my opinion. That one right there is at an angle.
You see how this door goes almost all the way to the ceiling?
Yeah.
And this is higher than an 8-foot ceiling.
Yeah.
This is a 10-foot ceiling. That's almost a 10-foot. These are almost 10-foot doors.
Yeah.
They're 9-foot. I guarantee they're 9-foot doors.
Yeah. And it ain't gonna be that type of an investment. I mean, if I do 3 cameras, I mean, we're talking $1,500,
Right.
$1,800.
Right.
So.
And they already needed the coverage anyway.
You don't have that 2536 on there, do you?
A 2536.
Yeah, or the 2136, those 2 cameras we're looking at.
This is the 2136 right here.
Hey, go up to that 2136. It's got the days open. Camera 14, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the one we're looking at using inside at that door.
Right. And that's the one we're running. We're running VIDM and people off of that one. Running.
Yeah, I think we'll be good there.
Yeah, I mean that lobby's just shy of 20 feet, if I recall.
Yeah.
I think it's going to work great. I mean, I'd be surprised if it doesn't.
I mean, I understand what they had there. He had that calculator sheet and what the purpose of that is. That's for saying we guarantee it to work in these optimal situations.
Exactly. And
that gives y'all deniability of 100%.
Right. And there's situations where you need that. This is not necessarily one of them. I think we're going to be, if we're getting 97, 98, 99, everybody's going to be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and part of that again was really for the Face Pro, which, if you've seen pricing, is a little bit more of a significant investment.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we're actually doing away with Face Pro, to my knowledge. So, but all right, guys. Well, y'all got any more questions? Y'all need anything other than follow up talked about? I think it'll work. I think it'll, especially for Benton, and I'm really excited about the LPR. Honestly, that's another thing I'm super excited about. I just think that the LPR is working so awesome, and man, it's just so easy to sit there and just run a report and pull up every vehicle that pulled on your campus or pulled in your facility. Maybe all these marijuana grow houses, they just catch every license plate that comes in and out. Doesn't mean, but if they have something happen, they could go back and go, hey, that was the truck. And so it's just a cool way to make the video work for you.
Well, it's not for us, it's for the customer.
Right. You see it? You got that plate, and look how clear it is over here down at the bottom. Right. JXN 9405.
And I've talked with the trainer. They are working on something to get a little more concise to face towards end users. So hopefully that will help you guys kind of communicating some of this.
Not everybody's a good teacher, Brandon. Tim's got 5 or 6 different techs, and some of them can do it, and some can't teach shit. Some of them can't learn it. You know, Tim can learn it better than I can learn it. Tim can read it and learn it. I have to screw with it.
I just screw with it when no one's watching.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Hook 'em.
Appreciate it.
Go Hogs.
Hey, I was gonna try to say, here's one known. Right. Yeah, there's one of our known plates.
Yeah.
Trying to say I didn't know it had this check down in here where you can see where if they're known plates, they're checked too.
Can you sort by all those
All right.
column headers?
What now?
Can you sort by the column headers? Like by license plate, by confidence level, or known?
Wait, looks like I could sort them in a up-down version. Insert my camera name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There, or at the very least, you can still export it.
True.
Yeah, because you can export it here. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it, man. I hope this helped a little bit. I hope y'all didn't get too bored.
Yeah. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Glad y'all got to see me.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys see me, Paul. See you, Tim. See y'all.
See you.